Now, what are you trying to do here, Mr. Thorpe?
As the robot is developed, the program that they use when they drive has to change. So he's added. If you look up here, there's 2 chain motors to help them pick up a cone. So what we're doing is programming them when he pushes this button, the chain runs one way. Push this button, the chain runs a different direction, the opposite direction. So we've got the code in. We have the code and the program loaded in. Now we're in the process of checking it out, make sure that the motors are timed out because they run opposite directions since they're on a different end of each shaft. We'll have to make sure the button, when we push a button in a certain direction, the motors run the way they should. These buttons, these joysticks will actually drive the robot around. Then this is one driver here. The second driver uses this joystick, and Arturo actually drives this one. So all this one does is drive the robot around the arena or around the playfield. This one will raise the arm up and down. There's a claw in here that opens and closes to pick up the cones, and then the other one is to run the chain with the score.
So there's 2 drivers every match.
2 drivers every match. Okay. Plus there's a third person at the field that's an on-field coach. So all they do is observe the match and help the drivers out to tell them where they go from one place to the next.
Okay. And each match is point-based?
Yes, they're all point-based. You have there are 4 robots in a match. 2 robots are partnered together, so we have a 2-on-2 match. And of course, the goal is to score more points than the other team. So you get more points. In this game, when you see the yellow cones, if you score them, there's a high goal out in the middle. You get 1 point for that. There's mobile goals that you see on the ground that are blue and red, or they stack the cones on top of that. Then they can move them into the corners. They can move it all the way into the corners, score more points, like 10. Each cone is worth 10 points. There's a second goal that's a little bit closer out from the wall. They're worth 5 points, and if you just slide it in and leave it on the ground without having to go with this bump to put it in the goal, then they're worth 1 point apiece.
On the Red Alliance, we've got a Gigabots Alliance, 2148F and 2148D from Greenville. And on the Blue Alliance, we've got 98367D Frankenbots from Paris, Texas, and 6364C Hudson Hawk Robotics. Nope, looking at the wrong one. 71765W Rather Robotics from Bottom, Texas. And if we're ready, we'll begin this auto period in 3, 2, 1. We've got one robot pushing the cones out of the way and spinning. Looks lost. All right. Seems like this one will result in a draw. And if we're ready, we will go into driver control. 3, 2, 1. All right. We've got a Gigabots team scoring a cone onto the mobile goal. That will be worth 2 points. They fall. They flip. Can they right themselves? We'll find out. All right, seems like the teams here are struggling to pick up the cone. Looks like most of the robots are dead on the field. They are alive. Looks like the Gigabots are struggling to pick up a cone. All right, we're coming to 45 seconds left in the match. All right, 30 seconds left in the match. Let's see if the Blue Alliance can score a cone onto any of the goals. Looks like we've got a Gigabot, picks up the cone. Can they score it on the mobile goal? They line up. They set the cone down. They let it go. They have scored another cone onto the mobile goal. 2 seconds left in the match. Will everyone go for the park? And on the Blue Alliance, we've got a Gigabots team, 2148B and 56565A Foxbots out of Cattle Mills. And if we're ready, no movement for either alliance. This will result in a draw, and we'll quickly move on to the driver control period. 3, 2, 1. All right, we've got a robot falling over. Will they right themselves before the end of this match? Let's find out. We've got 8909A struggling with the mobile goal. Looks like we've got a battery out of a robot. All right, our Gigabots team looking to pick up that cone. Will they get it? The Red Alliance doing this with one robot. Can they do it? Looks like we've only got movement from the Blue Alliance. Seconds left in the match. The Gigabots are pushing the cone around. Need to pick it up before they can score it. All right. We've got Mechanic Robotics back alive again. All right, looks like we're ready to begin this match, but first let me introduce the teams. We've got 75189C RCMS out of Royce City Middle School. And their partner, 2148G, the Gigabots. And the Blue Alliance seems to be a Gigabots Alliance being composed of 2148A and 2148C. And if we're ready, we'll begin this match. 3, 2, 1. All right, looks like we've got the Blue Alliance Gigabots going for those cones early. They get the drop. They scored on the stationary goal. The Royce City team has picked up the cone. Will attempt to score it on the mobile goal. Looks like they drop it in the meantime. Our Blue Gigabot picked up a cone. One of our Blue Gigabots has picked up the cone and scored on the stationary goal. Make that stack 3 tall. They get that additional cone. 2148C destroying that stationary goal. Royce City team picks up the cone, drops it while attempting to score it on the mobile goal. Looks like 2148A has pushed a mobile goal into the 5-point zone. They score a cone on that mobile goal. (2148A) has the cone in their possession. Will they score it? They hit the perimeter of the field. That shakes the cone. Royce City trying to score a cone has unnestled their cone. Can they add another cone to make up for what they were attempting to do? All right, they score that second cone. 5 seconds left in the match. We have the scores from match number 4. The Blue Alliance will take this one 4-2-2. All right, looks like we're ready to begin this match, and we will. 3, 2, 1. 60Z goes for that stationary mobile goal. They cannot pick it up. And we've got action from both alliances. Unfortunately, this one looks like it'll result in a draw, and if we're ready, we'll go to driver control. 3, 2, 1. Looks like we've got 60X just pushing, 60Z, my bad, pushing the cones all around. They pick up the stationary mobile goal, and they will attempt to score it. In the meanwhile, 525X is picking up cones to put onto their mobile goal in their possession. 60Z scores the first mobile goal in the 20-point zone. 525X, not trying to be outdone, scores their own in the 20-point zone. Looks like they will get the highest stack if nothing changes. All right, 60Z attempting to pick up another mobile goal. Will they be able to do it? 525X, wasting no time, has a second mobile goal in their possession. 1 cone, 2 cone. Let's see, will they get the third cone? 60Z stuck on the stationary goal. Can they clear? Our Gigabots struggling to pick up cones. 60Z has placed their mobile goal in the 10-point zone. 525X still attempting to put cones on their mobile goal. 15 seconds left in the match. Let's see, 7 seconds left. They scored in the 10-point zone, and they go for the park. We've got the score from match number 5. The Blue Alliance will take this one, 19-11. We're ready. We will go on to driver control. 3, 2, 1. All right, all the robots can be functioning this match. 23310D, the Robo Rascals pick up a mobile goal, has scored 1 cone, 2 cone. Hudson Hawks Robotics, the B team, has scored a cone on their mobile goal. All right, 23310D, a 4-stack, will score it in the, so we'll attempt to score it in the 20-point zone. They keep the cones. All right, looks like the Robo Rascals are putting in that work. 2 cones, 3 cones. They will get 3 cones. Going for 4. Can they get it? Let's find out. They will. All right, they're going to place it in the 10-point zone. They lose 2 cones in the process. Meanwhile, Hudson Hawks Robotics, the E team, scores a cone onto the stationary goal. The B team will attempt to score on a mobile goal. They will. That'll be 3 high. All right, that signifies 30 seconds left in the match. Looks like 23310D is in possession of 2 cones. Hudson Hawks Robotics doing work on that mobile goal. All right, 23310D has a cone in their robot, will not be able to pick up cones the rest of the match. 2 seconds left. All right, we'll begin. 3, 2, 1. 60Z picks up the mobile goal. Will they score it? Let's see. They turn. They will place it onto their partner. As close as it is, it will not count. This will result in a draw. And if we're ready, we will move on to driver control. 3, 2, 1. 21-48, scores a cone onto the stationary goal. Meanwhile, 60Z attempting to pick up the mobile goal that they could not score in auto. They have it in their possession. 60Z has the cone in their possession. They're attempting to score it. Getting blocked by the field objects and at times their own partners. 21-48D struggling to pick up a cone. 60Z will attempt to score in the 20-point zone. Will they get it? They drop it in the 10. 50 seconds left in the match. 61-68D, Hudson Hawk Robotics missing out on those cones. All right, 60Z attempting to pick up a mobile goal. That's down teams if there's 30 seconds left in the match. 60Z has another mobile goal in their possession, getting clocked up on the code. Sweet jumps. 15 seconds left. 60Z getting blocked by their partner. 7 seconds left. All right, we've got 2 robots going for the park. We've got the scores for match number 8. The Red Alliance will take this one 72-4. 10. We've got a Gigabots Alliance on the Red Alliance, 21-48A and 21-48E. And on the Blue Alliance, 63-64A, Hudson Hawk Robotics, and 2-33-10C, the Robo-Spangs. If we're ready, we'll begin this match in 3, 2, 1. Action happening so fast, all the robots appear to be stationary. All right, this will result in a draw, and if we're ready, we'll go to driver control. 3, 2, 1. Two, 33-10C going for that mobile goal. They have it in their possession. Will they score it? 63-64A grabs cone, places it onto the mobile goal. They're going for a second cone. Will they get it? They will. All right, looks like we've got a Gigabot struggling with the mobile goal. All right. 21-48A quietly putting in work in the corner. We've got 2-33-10C, the Robo-Stangs. Puts a mobile goal in the 20-point zone. And their partner, Hudson Hawk Robotics, scores a cone onto the stationary goal. Looks like the Red Alliance is trying to push their mobile goals into the scoring zones. (21-48A) pushes a cone with this mobile goal with 2 cones on it into the 5-point zone. Looks like 63-64A puts a cone, tries to put a cone on the stationary goal. Meanwhile,
my name is Adrienne Emerson, and I am in charge of the robotics at the high school. And with that, I am the coach of the Robo Wranglers, which is the first robotics team here at GHS. Sometimes we call it like the varsity robotics team.
Okay. And who was the gentleman out there helping you with in the ring?
His name is George Cronky, and he is coach of the Robo Wranglers as well. He teaches the auto tech classes here. And he helps out with the events and helps out with the robotics teams as well.
And the gentleman inside the ring with the microphone is?
That is Carlos Rodriguez. He is a senior on the Robo Wranglers. He's a student, and this is his second year on the team.
Okay. So explain to me how the ring is set up, what we're looking at, the black frame, and exactly how does that work?
Sure. So VEX Robotics comes out with a new game every year. So every April, they come out with some new challenge, and we play that challenge. This year's game is called In the Zone, and but every year it fits inside of those black walls, and that's 12 feet by 12 feet. And so within those walls every year they design some sort of challenge. This year you saw the robots picking up the cones and placing them on goals. In other years they've had to shoot balls into nets. Other years they've had to throw what look like jacks from one side of the field to the other side of the field. So the challenges and the game pieces, everything inside those black walls changes from year to year. But the main structure, the 12 by 12 field, stays the same every year. So we get those challenges from VEX Robotics, which is actually based right here in Greenville, Texas as well. And they give those specifications and the rules of the game out to all the teams all over the world every April. And then the teams have all the time that they want to build in that once the game is released, and then they can sign up for competitions anywhere they want. And competitions usually start around the beginning of the school year. Some people have them in the summer, but most of them start around the beginning of the school year. And then they can qualify by doing well at those competitions to go to the state competition, which we also host here at Greenville High School, which is in February. And then from the state competition, they can qualify to go to the World Championship. And the World Championship is held in April in Louisville, Kentucky. And then they announce the game for the next year at that, so it never ends. It's just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. So that's what we do. We take all the rules and all the game pieces and everything from the direction of VEX Robotics, and then we just implement the competition here.
What about the robots and the rollers and the different parts you use? Is that come in a kit, or do you have to?
You can go right on vexrobotics.com and buy a kit if you wanted to. Anybody can do that. You don't have to be a school to have a VEX Robotics team. You can work in your garage, and a lot of teams do that. And so you can go buy the kit online, and then you can buy upgrades to it if you want, or spare pieces, or anything really that you want. And you can use those pieces provided by VEX Robotics to build your robot. And they have certain specifications like the size. It can only be powered by a specific battery. You can only use parts that come in that kit, or comparable parts, like if you were going to Lowe's and get the nuts and bolts that you need, that's okay. But it has to be a comparable part to what would come in the kit. And so within all of those restrictions, teams can build whatever they want.
So outside the ring, when they're tweaking their robots, they connect directly to the robot. Is that correct?
Yeah, so when they do that, they basically can connect their robot to their computer, and they can download code onto their controller that's in their robot, and they can leave that connected and just control their robot right from their computer. Then once they've gotten whatever tweak they want or program change that they want, they download it directly to the controller, and then when they go out to the field, they plug their controller into our system. That system talks to our computers that are controlling the match, and so when we press a button, it will say, as long as they've programmed it correctly, it will say, okay, all the robots on the field go into autonomous mode, and all of them will use their pre-programming that's in there to go into autonomous mode. And they can't drive it when they're in autonomous mode with their controller. Then when we press the button and say, okay, go into driver mode, it will go into their program, find their driver control mode, and it will run that on the field. So basically, as long as they program it correctly, when they plug into our field executes the rest.
So I've noticed a lot of teams this morning didn't use autonomous mode. Is that a preference?
So this is a pretty early tournament for most of these teams, so they might just not have gotten to the point where they have been able to focus on that yet. A lot of the teams out there right now, this is their first or second tournament of the year, so they just haven't really gotten around to it yet. I'm sure they will in the future, but driver control, autonomous is 15 seconds, driver control is 1 minute and 45 seconds, so driver control is where a lot of teams focus their energy before they go into autonomous mode.
Okay. So inside the ring, the black ring,
Yep.
is there a magnetic field that is controlling the robots in some way, or how are they actually getting there?
Okay, so we have little, they're called VEXnet keys, and one VEXnet key plugs into your controller, the other VEXnet key plugs into the controller on the robot, the brain, and those two keys send a signal between each other, so that everything that you do on your controller, it sends a message to the robot that says, okay, when I push this button, my robot should do this. And so they have just keys that talk to each other to be able to execute those commands. And so they do all that themselves. That's what their programming consists of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll begin this shortly. I think I've had brief cover, so let's bring up all the teams starting with A. Let me get 2148C. All right. Let me get 56565A. Let me get 23310C. The glasses. All right, let me get 23310A. Let me get 60Z. Let me get 525X. $21.48H. And for our first Alliance captain, let me get 23310D. The way this works is you get to choose, and they get to either accept or decline. So who would you like to be your partner on the first line?
525X.
All right. Now you would come up here and either accept or decline.
I accept.
All right. Then you grab your seat. And now everyone else slides up one. And now can I get 2148A up for line selection? All right. Now it's your turn. Who would you like for line selections?
60Z.
Accept. Can I get 63, 64B?
Carlos, how
All
look
right.
at the camera?
23310A. Who would you like to be on your lines?
2148C.
2148C. All right, can I get a representative for 6364C? All right, 23310C. Who would you like to be your partner? All right. Five, 65, 65A. Accept. Can we get everyone over? 2148D, 2148D. Could we get this one on this? All right, 2148A. Who would you like for even? Accept. All right. 6364E. 6364B. Sixty-three, 64E. All right, we're getting 8909A. All right, it's your turn to pick. Who would you like? If you need a moment, just yeah. All right, and now let's get our final captain. 63, 64D. Send it right onto the field, please. Who would you like to play with?
63, 64A.
63, 64A. All right, we got and accept now. The way that alliance selection works is everyone gets picked. Everyone needs 3 players. So now we go back up to first alliance, and they get their second pick. You can take a minute if you need.
75189C.
All right, can we get a rep from 75189C? We. All right, accepted. All right, who would you like to play with for your second pick? 2148G. All right, now who would you like to play with? 2148B. All right, on to the next captain.
4148D.
He hadn't accepted yet.
Accepted. Twenty-one 48F. We got an accept. All right. On to the next alliance. Who would you like to play with in England? Nine 83 67A. Accepted. All right, but the next alliance captain, who would you like to play with? All right, let's see. Can we get a rep onto the field, please? All right, we got an accept card and onto our final.
Final team. 2148E.
2148E. Can we get a rep onto the field?
We accept.
You got an accept. All right. And unfortunately, the 24th person left early, so that'll be the end of Alliance selection. Matches will begin at 2:50. All right, this is quarterfinal match 2. Let me introduce the teams. On the 4th seed, their captain, 23310C, the Robo-Tanks out of Rockwall. Their first pick, 6565A, the Foxbots out of Cattle Mill. And their third pick, 2148F, the Gigabot, the Greenville team. On the 5th alliance, the 5th seed, the team captain, 2148A, the Gigabot out of Greenville. Their first pick, 6364B, Hudson Hawk Robotics out of Garland. And their second pick, 98367A, Stonebot out of Paris. And if we're ready, we'll begin this match shortly. This will be a draw, and if we're ready, we'll go to driver control in 3, 2, 1. All right, all the robots are alive and moving. We've got Stonebots with a cone, sending the place onto the mobile goal. And meanwhile, 2148F with a cone, attempting to score onto the mobile goal. Looks like the 4th alliance captain is struggling to let go of that mobile goal. They lose the cone in the process. All right, the Blue Alliance putting in work on those mobile goals. That's 2 cones, making 3 cones. 48F gets the second cone on the mobile goal. That brings the total to 3. The Rockwall team with another mobile goal in the 10-point zone. All right, looks like the Blue Alliance has a mobile goal in the 5-point zone with 2 cones on it. That will give it the highest stack bonus as well as 2 points per cone. That brings it up to being worth 14 points. The Red Alliance scores a mobile goal in the 10-point zone. 5 seconds left in the match. Let's see who goes for their end game. 2, 1. 60Z struggling to pick up a mobile goal. They have it in their clutches, getting play defense on, but they managed to break free. 2148G puts a cone on a mobile goal. CCZ with the mobile goal in the 20-point zone. Will they get it? Let's see. 8909A with a mobile goal in their possession. Let's see where they put it. They drop it. They pick it back up. They drop it again. It must be really hot. All right, 60Z is really struggling over there in their area. Let's see if 8909A can place it into the 20. They get it. 60Z struggling. I don't think they'll be able to put one in the 20-point zone. This could be the Blue Alliance taking this match. All right, we've got a link of chain on the field. Now, I know that can't be good. All right, I think 8909A has another mobile goal in their possession. If they score it, this may be it. 10 seconds left, 7. It's time for the end game. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to keep pushing? 3, 2, 1.
This is the Volunteer of the Year Award. As you all know, VEX Robotics events do not just materialize. It takes a collective effort of many people who are willing to give their time and effort for the sake of all of the participants in the room today. At the root of each event, you can find an individual spearheading the effort to make things happen. The Volunteer of the Year will be easy to spot because of his or her enthusiasm, dedication, and results-oriented approach to bringing the experience and opportunities available through VEX Robotics to as many students as possible. The recipient of this award demonstrates a commitment and devotion to their community, putting in many hours of hard work with persistence and passion to make an event happen. We are very thankful at Greenville to have wonderful volunteers that come to our events year after year. For all sorts of different events, we have league, we have regionals, we have state championships, and today I want to recognize one of our esteemed judges, Miss Katie Wyden, as the Volunteer of the Year. Thank you to Katie for all of her work, not just at this event, but at other events here in the past.
60Z not moving. Are they dead? Are they having issues? All right. The Blue Alliance will take advantage of that one. There's one red robot down. Let's see where this goes. 23310A with the mobile in the 10-point zone. One code on it. That'll give them the highest stack into the 20, so that'll be worth 27 points if they can score it. In the meantime, their partner, 2148C, one code on there. That's going to be a 3-stack. That'll give them highest points. That'll be worth 11 points. All right, 23310A taking advantage of 60Z being down. No D-bot in the way. Nobody scoring mobile goals. Looks like they might get all the mobile goals. All right, looks like we're having an argument right behind the driver's station. This is getting heated. To back up, to keep pushing forward, who knows? I'm hearing get out of the way, but not into me, but into me into the way. 23310A going for that mobile goal. Will they get it? 15 seconds left in the match. They will put it in the 10-point zone. 7 seconds left. Let's see if they'll go for a park. Nope. The judges award goes to the team 63-64A. Hudson Hawk Robotics of Northern Tennessee. Judges will be looking for robots that have a professional feel and quality look to them, with clear attention to efficient use of mechanical and electronic components. and reliability on the competition field. The Build Award goes to Team 2148D, the Gigabots. And this is the final award we give out before finals. The Design Award is presented to a team that demonstrates an organized and professional approach to the design process, project management, time management, and team organization. The Team's Engineering Notebook is a clear, complete documentation of the team's design process. The winning team is able to describe how the students implemented an efficient and productive design process to accomplish the project goals. The Design Award goes to Team 8909A. The Mechanical Robotics Tournament from Colorado Mountain, Texas. Let me introduce the teams. We've got the first team and the third team. I'll just introduce the robots on the field. We've got 23310D, the Robo Rascals. And their partner, 525X Irradiated. On the third seed alliance, we've got 23310A, the Metal Mustang. And their partner, 2148C, the Gigabot. If we are ready, we will begin the auto period in 3, 2, 1. All right, they grab the logo. They spin the wrong direction. This will be a draw. And if we're ready, we will go into driver control in 3, 2, 1. All right, 23310D with the logo in their direction. One code will place it onto that logo. That's one. The last two, Irradiated with their own logo. 23310A with their own logo. The only logo on that one is 23148C playing mean defense. 23310A with the logo in the 20-point goal. With a code, they'll get the highest stack. That's neat, but there's a limit to how high you go. All right, defense might be a key to this match. All right, I think. All right, looks like they got the rest on that team. 525X is driving around looking for more mobile. 2148C with the 2148C maybe down in the middle of the field. 25 seconds left. This could be critical. The Red Lions are going to run 2, 3. If the Blue Lions can hold this combo, they might pull the flag out. This might They will put it in the 20-point zone. All right, that's a clear race victory. If we're ready to begin, we will. Finals match 2. Driver control period in 3, 2, 1. All right, all the robots are good and moving again. So let's see how this goes. We got the first 23310A with the mobile on their clutches. 23310D, 1 code. 2 codes. 23310A goes to put a mobile in their 25 zone. Let's see if they'll get it. If they are to let it go, they will. 23310D with their mobile on their clutches. 1 code. No. Code is blocking that robot. They'll have to place it down. All right, 23310A struggling to put that mobile in the 24 zone. Let's go for the 10. 23310A with the mobile goal in mind. They will not be able to get it. All right, not much happening other than 23310D with the mobile on their robot. 1 code. Will they get a second code? They will get a second code. No, they won't. Now they gotta place it. They place it in the 10, in the 5. Let's see. 23310D with the mobile goal. That sound indicates 30 seconds left. There's 30 seconds left in the match. Let's see how this turns out. 1 code already out there. 20 seconds left. Let's see how this goes. Right now it is not looking good for blue. 23310D looking for something in the zone. They place it. 5 seconds left in this final act. 5 seconds. Look at the board. We've got the scores. The Red Alliance wins the tournament 78-32. Let's hear it for the third seed Alliance. The Excellence Award is given to the overall top team. It is the highest honor given out in the VEX Robotics competition. The recipient of this award is a team that exemplifies overall excellence in creating a high-quality VEX Robotics program. This team excels in many areas and is a shining example of dedication, devotion, hard work, and teamwork. As a strong contender in numerous award categories, this team deserves to be recognized for building a quality robotics program and a team committed to quality in everything that they do. The excellent award goes to team 23310D, the Robo Rascals. They qualify for the U.S. Open and the state championship north again.